Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. Next up for our Dragon Ball Heroes showcases is EZA Black Masked Saiyan, or basically my boy GETES. He is indeed rainbowed, he is level 10 Lynx. I'm ready to try him out. We do have him with, or I'm going to get him lined up with Dark Mask King. I haven't actually EZA'd him yet. I will of course do that for his own showcase because they do share 6 out of 7 links. Now, one thing, especially with Heroes and kind of over the last year, is my boy GETES hasn't been shown much love. Even so, I'm still going to try him out. And in terms of this as a rotation, I'm not going to lie, it's a bit risky to put him in slot 1. So, we're just going to have to kind of skip a turn. That is basically what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to skip a turn. But while we only have Prepared for Battle active, in terms of starter turn stats, 284k attack, 137k defense, we're going to have to wait for another turn to come around to show him off just yet. To be fair, it's actually a good thing because he probably would have taken a ton of damage. Because on paper, doesn't look that good, which really annoys me because there's just not a good GETES unit. I mean, to be fair, in the last year of Dokkan, but there isn't a good GETES unit from Heroes, and funny enough, there's 2 of them. 3 if you want to include King Vegeta as well, or Dark Mask King. Which is a massive shame to me, obviously, being a Vegeta fanboy, so I kind of wish that wasn't the case. But we move. In terms of what he does though, on Super, he will raise attack and defense by 30% for 1 turn, cause immense damage to the enemy and lower attack and defense. At the start of turn, he's getting Ki +3, attack and defense plus 160 when attacking. He doesn't get any start of turn stats. So in terms of him actually having those numbers at the beginning of the turn, it's actually pretty good, given the fact all of that 160 is going to be when he's attacking. But to be fair, that 160% he does get could be from the fact that it applies when you pick up orbs. But I'll check next turn when it comes around. Before we get some orbs, I'll see if his numbers are the same or not. He also gains 120% attack and defense and launches an additional attack that has a 50% chance of becoming a super and a 50% chance of performing a critical hit when there are 3 or more crossover category allies on the team, which, considering how good some of these EZAs are, and of course the new release in Limit Breaker Vegeta, very easy to do. He'll also perform a guaranteed crit when there's an enemy. His name includes Goku, which outside of SBR or certain SBR and ESBR stages and Goku event, there's not really anywhere you're going to get that guaranteed crit popping off aside from there. But considering how not overly amazing he looks on paper, that's probably going to be the territory my boy GETES is sitting in and where you're going to be using him. Now, in terms of his numbers, he does have 203k attack stat and 137k defense right now. So actually that 160 isn't applying when we pick up orbs. So for starter turn numbers, considering he doesn't get like the 160 just at the start of turn, that's not bad, unless it just applies immediately anyway, no matter the orbs. Paired up with Dark Mask King, or is it Black Mask King? No, it's Dark Mask King. He's up to a 251k attack stat, 150k defense. Let's grab in some orbs. Hopefully we're not going to be super attacked in slot 1. Especially again because he doesn't have the most defense and he has no other kind of things going for him. 6.7 mil on a super is not bad. And there's the additional going up to 7 mil. There's that additional that could be built in from the passive. And then he's tanking double digits here, which is not bad. But don't forget, he's getting the 160 when attacking, and then he's only getting 30% attack and defense on supers. Now, he can, of course, double before you even factor dupes, and because we do have him rainbowed, he can triple, which is actually really nice. So in terms of the amount of damage he can do in 1 turn, especially with the built-in crit as well, while it may not be guaranteed, he can actually do some fairly decent damage. One thing for him is, a lot of units nowadays can do pretty good, decent damage, but the 50% chance to crit on 2, potentially 3 supers from the dupe system is pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty nice. So he can actually do some pretty solid raw damage. But defensively, I can't imagine from what I'm seeing on paper, he's got too much going through him. Like, he may be in the realms of like 600k defense tops, and even then I think I'm being a little bit generous, but that is kind of at very best. Like, I don't think he gets on that, and definitely not over that. So I'm not gonna lie, it's another one where he really just does not have a lot going for him. Like, before he supered, he was taking, what, 70k on a basic? I mean, to be fair, that is because he only has like 150, 170k defense at the start of turn. But if we were to take him in against any of the top difficult content in Dokkan right now, I don't think he's gonna have a good time of it. Do you know what? I'll leave Vegito in slot 1, and I'll let Dark Mask King float a little bit, just because if he was EZA'd, I'd happily put him in slot 1, but he's not currently, so I'll just leave it like this for the time being. Yeah, I can't see kind of any reality where you get much use out of this unit, which irks me because I'm a GETES fanboy. Like, you could have at least made one of them good. I mean, again, a 7.6 million attack stat with a built-in additional that can go up to 8. Maybe not. Dupe system, go up to 8. Again, maybe not. He can do some solid damage, especially if that crit pops more than not, and if you get lucky enough to pop all 3 super attacks if you do have dupes in him. But outside of some solid damage, I said he doesn't have anything else. Like, he really doesn't. Now, again, not all units, not all EZAs are meant to be world beaters. Not all of them are meant to be new best EZA in the game. Not all of them are meant to, like, stomp Red Zone and the hardest enemy in the game. I get that, that's fine. But again, as a Vegeta fanboy, as Vegeta being my favorite character, as Vegeta being my guy, it would have been nice if at least one of the Vegeta units from this celebration, I mean, there's 2. But it would have been nice if just one of them was really good. Like, Berserk controlled Vegeta is, like, really not that good. That I haven't even Dokkan awakened him yet, and I don't really have much care for using him. Black Mask Saiyan, on the other hand, again, he could do some solid damage, but it's nothing to write home about, and defensively, he really isn't good enough. Like, really isn't good enough. I mean, throwing some damage reduction or guard, yeah, sure, like, he could probably kind of hold his own. Could he still take some damage against some of the hardest enemies in the game? Yeah, 100%, that's fine. But he could probably hold his own and do, again, some solid damage. But he just doesn't have anything big going for him. And the funny thing is, his pops, on the other hand, Dark Mask King actually looks pretty good, and I really want to try him out and see how he does. And what's really annoying is they link almost perfectly together, and GETES doesn't look that good, whereas Dark Mask King looks like actually a pretty decent unit to use. So it's a shame we can't rock that as a rotation and it kind of pop. You know, I'm not expecting like the 2 Vegito rotations. Like, having those 2 lined up is probably one of the strongest rotation in the game right now. I can't even lie to you. But it would have been nice if this rotation was kind of like a B-Tech version of that. I mean, again, this is for me because I love GETES. But unfortunately, he's nothing special. He's kind of like a bog standard, like, throwaway EZA that is just kind of there. But outside of like SBR, ESBR, those kind of realms of content, I don't see GETES. I keep having to check. Black Mask Saiyan, I cannot remember for the life of me which one is which half the time. But when it comes to Black Mask Saiyan, I can't see him getting much use. I can't see him competing in difficult content, which is a shame. I mean, again, more so for me because it's GETES and I want GETES to be good. And especially because the GETES from this year's Heroes lineup really isn't that good whatsoever. But I don't know, at least his pops is looking pretty decent, so he's still called Vegeta at the end of the day, so maybe that's kind of my silver lining, maybe that's kind of what I have to take. But we'll do one more rotation, we'll see how he tanks, considering we're quite deep into this. Actually, we're very deep. And you know what? I'll be quite intrigued to see how much damage he takes without attacking yet while he has type advantage. He's also going to get a Dokkan attack. Hey, if he crits, he could do some big damage. Yeah. Again, I know he hasn't attacked yet, but this is with type advantage, and he's taking 70k on a basic. And 318k on a super. Again, he hasn't attacked yet, which is fair enough. But his defense, it has got very low limits. So to like hyper focus his kit around basically critting. It would have been like, it's nice if he had it with some defensive capabilities. Like again, like a little bit of damage reduction, dodge, you know, guard or something. But there's a lot better units where you can run him that can take his place or go in front of him in terms of pecking order. I mean, and that's just heroes and crossover units alone. I mean, you've got the new Vegito, you've got the EZA Vegito. You can even include the 2 Limit Breaker Goku and Vegetas from last year. I would actually run them over him just because of their capabilities, and especially now that they're back for the 2nd year now, you're more likely to have dupes in them. You've got the Rose. I'd probably even take Tech Broly over him, I'm not going to lie. I don't think that's outlandish to say. Super Saiyan 4 Gohan over him, definitely. Like, there's so many units from this celebration alone, or like just heroes units alone, that are ahead of him, including his own daddy. And then even Janemba. Janemba looks great. I cannot wait to try him out. But it's just a shame. It's a shame because my boy GETES has been done so dirty this year. Like, this guy isn't that great. Like, really bog standard EZA. Berserk controlled Vegeta looks so meaty. Then, in terms of EZAs, you've got the transforming GETES. He only gets good when he gets the God, and that takes far too long currently, unfortunately, in the current content we have and how short it is. And then the only, like, decent Vegeta we got is a sidebanner unit that came out all the way in March for Saiyan Day with God Goku, who, let's face it, has his limits because he's a sidebanner unit. He's decent, but it's been months at this point. So, it's one of those. My boy GETES keeps getting disrespect. And I just got to live with it. Dokkan is basically telling me to take it. But you can let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know what you think of him. Even at Rainbow, it doesn't look like anything special in the level 10 links. But I said you can let me know your thoughts. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. And peace.